it really does show you that people don't give a fuck. Phones, cameras, sex toys, and dead relatives. What do all of these things have in common? Your faves are getting hit on stage every other week. We have to talk about this. Hi guys, my name is Cam. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about news and celebrity pop culture throughout the entire cyberspace. There's an epidemic in this world, not just COVID. Every other week, every other news report is talking about how celebrities are getting hit while performing on stage. Celebrities have had to become ninjas where they're ducking and dodging and bobbing and weaving. Live music just feels different. Now, there has always been rowdiness on stage and off stage. Travis Scott, I'm looking at you. We will never forget what you have done. You are at the top of my cancel list. As I said before, this just feels different. How did we get here? Why is this happening? First, let's talk about some recent instances where this has happened to artists on stage. And then we're gonna maybe hypothesize a little bit as to why this is potentially happening to them. Let's go ahead and get into the video. The most recent event that is currently being publicized and circulating online revolves around Harry Styles. Harry was performing in Vienna on Saturday night, July 8th, when a fan threw an object that hit him around his left eye. In the video that's currently circulating online, you can see him almost hurl over in pain, but he managed to push through the entire concert without having to stop the show. On July 5th, during his show in Chicago, Drake dodged a phone thrown at him while performing Hotline Bling. There wasn't many details about who threw the phone or why, but I can only assume that this was to create some sort of viral moment. So speaking of viral moments, during a Pink concert on June 28th in Hyde Park, someone literally threw their dead mom's ashes on stage as Pink was performing. Pink replied with a very understandably, So the next and probably most viral moment that's going around right now involves Bebe Rexha. So for those of you guys who don't know who Bebe Rexha is, she's a pop singer and she's been around for a while. She's had a few hits that haven't really made the top 100. She's not as mainstream, but regardless, the story that involves her being hit on stage made the rounds literally everywhere because it was so tragic. On June 18th, Bebe Rexha got hit in the face when a 27-year-old man threw his phone at her while she was on stage. The man accused said in a quote, "I was trying to see if I can hit her with a phone at the end of the show because it would be funny." He followed that up with, "because it's a TikTok trend." I think there might be something like going on in his brain or in his head. I don't know. Maybe he's on the spectrum, but regardless, that response was just wild. Bebe ended up needing 3 stitches and had a subsequent black eye, and her attacker has been charged with assault.
I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Let me ask the audience.
On October 24th, 2022, Steve Lacy, in another very viral moment, was seen begging fans to stop throwing things on stage. Despite his pleas, and I don't really know if this is Steve Lacy's audience, I don't really know much about Steve Lacy besides the few hits that he's had that have been more mainstream, it almost sort of egged his fans on, which we're going to talk about that as sort of one of the reasons why I feel like this is occurring. After he was begging and pleading for people throughout his entire set for them to stop throwing things on stage, someone literally threw a disposable camera at him. As a response, Steve Lacy then said, A day later after this happened, he issued a statement saying, quote, "Shout out to the people not throwing disposable cameras at me and just coming to catch a vibe and connect. I had a really good time in NOLA last night. I hate that the beauty of the connection I have with so many people in the crowd gets lost when something negative happens." He continued, "I don't believe I owe anyone an apology. Maybe I could have reacted better. Sure, always, I'm a student of life. But I'm a real person with real feelings and real actions. I'm not a product or a robot. I am human. I will continue to give my all of these shows. Please come with respect for yourself and others. Please, thank you, love you. This was a really good response, and I feel like it was a genuine, vulnerable response because I couldn't imagine putting on a performance, right? You're dealing with all the nerves, all of the logistics of getting there and performing songs that are important to you, especially with Steve Lacy. He's like very vibey, very, I'm gonna write from the soul, write from the heart. I don't know, make my own kombucha. I could see him putting his all into these performances, and for people to just throw things at him as he's performing, I think it tells him that they're either reacting negatively to it or they're trying to get a moment out of this moment that he is trying to produce on stage. And so I could see it being really frustrating. So I decided to highlight this because I feel like it does show us that these artists are human beings and they are reacting like human beings would, which is storming the fuck off the stage, getting off the stage. I know I would if someone was throwing stuff at me, like,
today I'm going to jail.
I'm just not going to perform. I don't care.
It's unfortunate that people can change something that was just pure innocent fun into drama.
That does remind me of another conversation I was having with myself when I was thinking about this, is like, what is the contractual obligations for all of this, right? Like, is it written in your contract if people are responding negatively, or if you feel like it's an unsafe environment, are you able to just leave? Anyways, on to the next person. At an LA show on June 20th, Ava Max was ambushed by a man on stage and slapped in the face. A concert goer was interviewed about the incident and was able to provide more clarity to the news reports. He said that what happened was another concert goer ran on stage to hug her, but as he was close to her, he was tackled by security. In the struggle, in the midst of all of this happening, his arm sort of flung around and hit Ava Max. So it was an accident, but at the end of the day, he literally was running on stage to hug her.
Just to slap the singer across the face.
Something that should have just never happened in the first place. Ava posted on Twitter, quote, "He slapped me so hard that he scratched the inside of my eye. He's never coming to a show again. Thank you to the fans for being spectacular tonight in LA though." So why is this happening? Why are people throwing sex toys and ashes and trying to hit other people on stage?
What's going on? Y'all are going to jail, period!
Why are they even running on the stage in the first place? First of all, there's no excuse for you interrupting other people's experience. It does kind of remind me, these interruptions while people are on stage performing, of on a lower level when you go to the movie theater, right? You have been waiting and hoping and dreaming and wishing to see a particular movie, only for other people to ruin your fucking experience. Someone is texting on their phone in the front row. Someone's got their phone on ringer. Someone brought their 2-month-old baby to some Texas Chainsaw Massacre Scream type of horror film. It just ruins the experience. And it really makes me feel so furious, because I know me, and maybe this is like my own mental health journey, whatever, that I'm getting into, but I know me. I don't want to affect other people's experience in life if I can help it, right? Like, if I am in a concert venue, or if I'm in a movie theater or a public space, and I know other people have spent their money to get an experience, to get the best experience possible, it's just very wild to me, like, having the mindset that's selfish enough to like take away from other people's experience. Now, I do that to the nth degree. Like, I don't want to inconvenience other people. I don't want other people to like have to depend or rely on me. So I'll go out of my way to like really, really help them. So that's some other shit that we'll talk about some other day. But regardless, the mindset that people have at these concerts is just baffling to me. It really does show you that people don't give a fuck. And we're going to hypothesize with like a little bit more factual based evidence, but those are just my initial thoughts. The other two reasons why I feel as if people are doing this is A, because of the panoramic. We have been in a pandemic for the past, I'm losing track, 3-4 years now, and people want to go viral. TikTok is such a thing now, and people understand that a viral moment can change your life. And they know that as these concerts are being streamed, as people are posting photos and videos, and People are talking about it online. There's just constant discourse as celebrities and artists are on stage and performing. They know that a viral moment can get them views. Throwing something on stage and having even a negative connection to their favorite artist while being cemented in some sort of internet infamy is appealing clearly to a lot of people. This is your moment. Have it.
This is your moment. Have it. Go ahead. The stage is here.
Is basically what they're telling themselves. With live shows, it's very common for people to throw things on stage, clearly. Bras and flowers. Since the beginning of time, we've been hearing about panties being thrown on stage. Lil Nas X just got a pocket pussy thrown at him on stage.
Who played pussy on stage?
I think because of the pandemic, coupled with the fact that people have always sort of thrown things at their favorite artists on stage, I think it does sort of create this perfect storm where people are used to consuming media in their homes at their own leisure, you know, however they want to. If they want to take 17 bathroom breaks, if they want to throw something at their TV or react like in a manic way, that is something that they have been able to do, or we have been able to do for the past 2 to 3 years. People don't really remember how it feels to be an audience member. They don't remember simply how to act in a live setting around people in a way that just allows other people to have a good, enjoyable experience. And so I think that, coupled with a pandemic, coupled with, you know, TikTok and viral moments, it all creates this huge perfect storm, which is why I believe we're having instances literally every other week like this. One thing that I did not realize is how often things like this have happened. Even in the past few years, as the pandemic has sort of raged on and continued, artists, even mainstream artists, have pleaded with the public for them to stop throwing things on stage. Artists like Tyler, the Creator, and Kid Cudi, who walked off the stage at Rolling Loud, the list continues and continues. Even Adele the other day had to threaten audience members not to throw things on stage at her.
Dare you throw something at me and I'm Stop throwing things at the artist, but you can shoot things at the audience. It's a total reverse. Hang on, I've got to go back over here and give my t-shirt down back. I've been seeing it. These people have lost it. Can you imagine?
So you know that if Adele's camp is talking about it, other camps are going to talk about it as well. Unfortunately, in the world that we live in, with trends catching on, and people just knowing that negative behavior gets them views and clicks and publicity, I do see this trend continuing for the next few months, especially as, you know, Harry Styles and Drake, Adele, these huge artists, as they're talking about it and sort of publicizing it even more, rightfully so, I do see people catching on to this and trying their luck at publicity. This is just the world we live in, where throwing your etiquette out the window, or in these instances, throwing it on the stage, gets you fame and notoriety, even though it will be probably for 7 days, because I think that's how the news cycle works, right? Like, our attention spans are so short. We'll be thinking about this, and then the next minute, some celebrity will do some crazy shit, and then we'll be focused on that. I hope that with all of this being said, celebrities continue to create precautions. I hope that they continue to speak out about things like this. There is never, ever an excuse for you to put your hands on someone, let alone someone who is just trying to make a living and trying to perform music that millions and millions of people love around the world. I hope that they continue to, I don't know, create nets or have more security or something like that, because as we've seen time and time again, it really just takes a split second with a fan that's a little brain damaged for things to just quickly go left. So what do you guys think about all of this? Do you guys think that this is a trend that will continue? Or do you think that these are just several instances that are sort of blown out of proportion out of the many concerts that go on every single year? Drop down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts about this. Let me know if I missed a point or two, or if you have any other comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well on your way out. So with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I don't know, something tells me I'll be talking to you guys very, very soon. Bye guys.